One thing that I absolutely love about this social media driven world that we live in, it is a great benefit, is seeing moms who are out there killing it. That makes me so happy. And honestly, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like if we think back, 50s and 60s, women were merely looked at as housewives. Okay. We didn't have much use outside of birthing babies and taking care of home and making sure that everything was clean and tidy in the house. Now, women are making six figures, seven figures while having four and five children. I myself, I have three kids. It has been done. And I love the amount of women who are out there killing it, making their dreams come true, being the mompreneurs and all of that. Hear me and hear me well, you guys. Motherhood is not crippling. Just because we're mothers does not mean that your life is over. And sometimes we can associate feeling like, oh, we have to choose kids over being ourselves. That is not at all the case. My life didn't stop after I birthed three children. I'm sure your life didn't stop if you chose to have one, two, three, four, five, whatever number of children you have, your life did not stop. Honestly, hindsight, having my children actually gave me more clarity on the things that I wanted to do. Welcome to my mommies. This is the Mom Boss Blueprint. You guys already know, welcome back to the 59th Parlor Podcast. I am your host, Tony, but this one is special. I'm doing this Mom Boss Blueprint because I feel like I want to start incorporating these like once a month just to give encouragement to moms out there who are trying to build businesses, trying to build personal brands, trying to just whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're working towards. This is going to be a space where we can just come together, give each other a little bit of encouragement, and realize again that, like I said, just because we're mothers does not stop the fact that we can be business owners, brands, personal brands, and all of that. This will be a fun way for us to just talk about the overall leveling up, glowing up, reinventing yourself at this stage of life. Because honestly, I feel like I've reinvented myself more as a mother than I ever did prior to being married, having kids, and that. Like, this has just been a really good time for me. And I feel like there are a lot of women experiencing that as well, just really noticing their true potential, coming into it, and really just transforming your life. So let's go ahead and get into the topic of conversation today, which is really and truly understanding that potential, tapping into that potential so that you can actually elevate and level up in your life. I don't know if there's been like an actual study done on this, but I feel like a lot of moms suffer with an identity struggle after having children. Like, it's almost like we're erased and we become so-and-so's mom and so-and-so's mom and so-and-so's mom and so-and-so's wife. It's like we lose our identity a little bit, or sometimes we can feel like we're losing our identity after having kids. Drop a heart below if you yourself have experienced this or you can relate to it in any way. I'll kind of give you guys my backstory a little bit. Excuse me. I struggled with my identity very, very badly after having kids. Like, I was the one who really went through just a tough period of time. And it was not postpartum, it wasn't that at all. It was just me not really knowing who I was anymore. Like, I feel like a lot happened so fast for me. Like, I kind of had a double whammy, right? At 21, I had my first son, and I got married a month and 2 days after my son was born. So I remember my husband was at work, my son was asleep, and this is like maybe 3 weeks into us being married. I have this newborn baby. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, and I literally said out loud, "What the insert F-bomb have I done?" And I remember it to this day. I remember just sitting there feeling like, what have I done? And of course, excuse me, yeah, I'm still kind of recovering from this cough that I had from when I had the flu, but I loved my husband. I loved my husband very much. But I think just in that moment, I realized that so many different things were changing. My life was literally changing. I literally just had a baby ripped from my woo-ha. Okay? I'm a changed woman at this point. Like, it was just so much changing at one time that I'm like, who am I? Because I just felt like I was somebody totally different. So I was one of the ones who just really went through an identity struggle, like really trying to figure out who I was. And and honestly, the identity struggle started to pour into other areas of my life. I was one of the ones who really went through that, just kind of lost myself for a very long time. Honestly, I feel like I was in that lost season for about the first 3 years, because I had my son and then I had my second son, excuse me, 18 months later. So it kind of poured into the appearance. Like I wasn't taking care of myself as much anymore. I wasn't dressing like I used to. I didn't have the same self-care habits that I did. Now, I'm not saying that I was walking around funky. Baby, I was never funky. We always make sure that we were clean, but I'm just saying when it came to dressing and stuff like that, like I didn't care about my personal style. I didn't care about the clothes that I wore. I'm like, okay, just throwing some jeans and a sweatshirt, whatever. Like I didn't care as much. I stopped getting my nails and toes done. I just didn't make it a priority anymore. So I'm giving you guys all of that because I've been there. I have been through the identity struggle. I have been there when I felt like I was just a mom and I couldn't tap into potential. I didn't even know if I had potential anymore. I had all these dreams and aspirations, and I just felt like I didn't even know how to get to that point. So that was 11, 12 and a half ish years ago. So I am here now, which obviously you guys can see that I have gone through a total transformation. I'm still reinventing in some areas of my life, just getting very, reinventing on more particular type things. But overall, I have transformed from that person that was to the person that I am now. So, what is the blueprint? That's what I want to get into, or what are just those basic underlying things, that structure that you need to start basing your everyday movement around so that you can really tap into that potential that you have and really elevate in your life. First things first, you guys, if you have struggled with your identity, after having children, becoming a mother, if you have struggled with your identity, the first thing about this blueprint is that you have to remember who you are. Okay? We all heard it on Lion King when why was I about to call him Mustafa? Mufasa. We all heard Mufasa tell Simba. Golly, I can't even talk. I'm jumbled up in my words. Mufasa told Simba, remember who you are. You cannot scratch the surface of your potential until you remember who you are. Regaining your identity is the top priority because that's what's going to give you the strength to carry on as you go through and actually begin to work on these goals and things that you have for yourself. It's going to give you that strength that you need to carry you through. And then, on top of that though, what I want you guys to think about with this though is remembering who you are and trying to be who you were are two totally different things. We don't want to go backwards. Obviously, we have had life experiences that have gotten us to this point. So we never should desire to go backwards, okay? Don't live a life of regret. You've made choices that got you to where you are, and you just have to live with them. It's already written for your life anyway, okay? And that's obviously, you guys know I'm coming from a spiritual standpoint on that, but nonetheless, I'm just telling you guys that you made choices that got you where you are. So you have to live with them. But when I say remember who you are, I'm talking about remember how full of life you used to be, right? Remember the qualities about yourself that you have, that drive that maybe you had early on. Remembering that you were unafraid. When those are the things that I want you guys to remember, okay? Because those are the things that you're going to have to need in order to shape where you are in life right now. Those underlying qualities about yourself that you always had, we have to fine tune those to fit where you are in life right now. So, second thing that I want to pinpoint about this is do it for you, okay? You cannot always do it for your children. And this is something that I feel like a lot of us experience, is that once we become mothers, we automatically turn our statements into, well, I'm doing this for my kids. Like I'm doing this, I'm doing all of this because of my kids. You have to do it for more than just the kids. And I feel like the biggest thing about regaining your identity, once you regain it, you'll understand why you need to do things simply for yourself. Sometimes you cannot attach what it is that you're trying to do to your kids all the time. Of course, naturally, when we go to school, get a better job, all of those things, it's going to benefit the kids. We know that. That's part of the process. But some of those like underlying goals that you want to obtain in your life, sometimes you have to keep those centered around you. Okay? It's okay for you to steal the spotlight sometimes. You are still a human being. You're still a person. You still have your own identity outside of your spouse, outside of your children. I guess in a nutshell, you want to be able to give yourself a moment where you can just look yourself in the mirror and be like, I did that. I did that for me. I actually accomplished that goal for me. Again, we're mothers. We naturally do the things that we do for our kids, but we have to put a focus back onto ourselves and celebrate the things that you do for yourself. So a part of this blueprint for you to be able to unlock everything within you, really reach your potential, is time management. You guys, I am still learning time management till this day. I'm currently reading the 12-week year. I'm about halfway through now, but I'm still reading the 12-week year. And one thing that I have noticed is that I truly have more time than what I actually think I have. If you are a mom desiring to build that brand, to build that business, you're starting from scratch, you have got to be like the ultimate time management person. And this is because we obviously want to make sure that we are splitting our time between our families and between our career options. You have to figure out what you're willing to sacrifice during this time frame. You have to sacrifice something. It's in order to have any success, everybody has to find something that they're willing to sacrifice, because it's not going to come for free. Me, I don't even watch TV. I watch TV for probably 10 minutes when I get in the bed and I doze off. After I've done everything else, I turn on the TV. And 9 times out of 10 now, I don't even listen, or I don't even watch TV. I turn on like calming rain sounds and stuff on YouTube, where they have like the AI picture and stuff. So I turn that on. But you guys, you're going to have to figure out what you're willing to sacrifice. You might not have time with the girls on the weekends and this and that, or you might have to, skip something here, skip something there, but you have to make sure that you are prioritizing your time during this blueprint. You have to make sure you're prioritizing your time. This is the only way that it's going to allow you to realize that you have that time with your family, but like I said, also have the time to invest in yourself, invest in that brand, invest in that business that you're trying to build. Oh my gosh, y'all, I keep like hiccuping and burping all at the same time. Oh, I'm so sorry. Basic blueprint, define your goals. That is a clear cut. I feel like anything that you're doing in life, you have to define your goals. You have to figure out what it is specifically that you're trying to obtain in life. So if you're a mommy who wants to go back to school, that is obviously your ultimate goal. And then at some point, you're going to want to make sure that you break that goal down with some time management and some strategy and planning to make sure that you are effectively using your time. And then one other thing that I want to pinpoint about defining your goals is make sure that you are celebrating the small wins, okay? That is going to help you so much in this process of just trying to continue forward. We're busy. We have a lot on our plates. So it's important to celebrate those small wins because it makes you want to continue on. And that's with anybody. When you feel like you're not getting ahead, you lose your motivation a little bit. So during this process, I want you guys to focus on picking out 2 to 3 goals, 2 to 3 achievable goals, something that you can kind of control a little bit. That way you can make sure that you're actually going to do them and do the necessary steps every day, implement whatever you need into your schedule to actually succeed and achieve those goals. So 2 to 3 goals is enough, okay? That's part of the blueprint, is realizing that you don't want to take on a whole bunch at a time. In order to really unleash that potential, Focus on 2 to 3 things, real small things that you can do. Once you've done that, implement 2 to 3 more. I guarantee after that first year of you just really investing into yourself, you would have covered so much territory just because you decided to break down the smaller goals. And again, celebrate those wins when you come across them. So, last part of this blueprint, and this blueprint is not large, you guys. It's not a big, massive list by list by list type thing that you have to do. No, it's just some very simple things. But honestly, I feel like it's the simple things that really make the transformation and make the difference in our day to day, which actually helps us achieve the goals that we're trying to do. But last thing about this blueprint is that you want to prepare for challenges. Again, you guys, we're busy. We have so much going on in our lives. I've told you guys plenty of times, I have 3 kids. I have kids who are in sports. I have this, I have that. I have to go here, go there. I have to go grocery shopping. It's so much. It's going to be challenges in this process. Anybody who is trying to unleash their full potential is going to experience some types of challenges. But this is why I said it's very important that you only pick maybe 2 to 3 goals that you're trying to focus on at a time. You can better prepare for those 2 to 3 goals than you can for a list of 10 to 12 goals that you're trying to achieve. You minimize the risk when you do this. And the risk at that point is losing time with your family. Okay. When we experience a challenge, 9 times out of 10, our minds just automatically focus on it to figure out what's going on. What can we do to correct it? This can spill into the time that you have dedicated to your family time. Everything about this is going to be about balancing. You want to make sure that you are totally balanced within your schedule, within your goals, within your day-to-day. Everything has to be perfectly balanced. So, better preparing for those risks to happen will alleviate some of that extra time spent down the line trying to clean up a mess. We don't need to clean up a mess. Now, granted, sometimes there's going to be large messes that just happen. But again, you can still prepare for things, always be prepared nonetheless. Always be prepared and have preparation for when things can go astray. And then other things that you can do to help you prepare for those challenges, start reading blogs. Start, networking with other mompreneurs who have gone through the process. Start watching videos like this or talks where you can listen to what people have done in their lives to better prepare for risk to happen and their time management and all of those things. Start networking, okay? This is going to actually help you build a really solid community as well with other moms who are going through the same thing and trying to accomplish the same or similar goals. So just surrounding yourself with like-minded people is going to be a great thing that you can do during this process. So like I said, this is a very basic blueprint. It's not something that requires 20 different steps. It's not something that, you have to stay up all night thinking about. These are the very simple things that I've done in my life that have actually helped me get from where I was 12 years ago until now. I started putting more emphasis on what is it that I'm actually trying to achieve for myself, focusing on that time management, remembering who I am. These simple things are how I transitioned out of this lost young girl, no confidence, all of that, to this very confident woman who you see on this video right now, because I never would have even imagined myself picking up a camera and talking to you guys right now. Like, this took a lot of work. It took a lot of self-work. But like I said, I'll be doing these mom boss blueprints I won't say very often. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all, but I definitely do want to do some talks once a month, like I said, where we're just dedicating time to figuring out how we can continue to level up as moms. Like, what can we do? How can we strategize? That way we have enough time to balance out everything going on in our lives. So I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. I know this isn't a long one, but I just wanted to go over just a couple of key things that I've done in my life that have helped me. And I really hope that they help you as well to figure out what it is that you want to do. Get that, that motivation back within yourself. Look yourself in the remember. Look yourself in the mirror Remember who you are. Remember that you're doing it for your kids, yes, but remember that you are doing it for you as well. That is all I have for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. So, till next time, love.